All right, well, Moses will be joining me on the desk for our first look at sports. And of course, a lot of play of hockey this weekend. It's funny because we were talking about how it's life at the Civic Center, just constantly there all this week, all of next week. But game one between the Universal Heat, SSAC, definitely one of the best matchups we're going to see.
Yeah, and it was really great, too, to see Zane Franklin become the overtime hero in Game 1, helping his team looking to make it a 2-0 lead against Edmonton. And just like Game 1, it would actually be the Edmonton SAC who would open up the scoring in the second. On the power play here, though, Bryce Kindop will make it a 1-1 game. Just a $1.10 later, Ty Smith gains the zone and sends it to Chloe Moore. He hits the post, but there's Smith with the follow-up to give them the lead. Still in the second, Kindop to Smith. The long shot tipped out in front. And that's Kindop's playoff leading 10th goal of the postseason. Now the lead is 2. Lloyd looking for more. Franklin hitting iron, dying seconds. Then it will be the Southsiders on the attack. It's James Hamblin who lets one fly that eludes Dane Dow. The Heat took a 1-goal advantage into the break. Early third, Kindop to Jansen Leslie for the money maker. How about that? The captain's second of the postseason. Minutes later, Heat back on the power play. Puck bouncing around. Franklin gets a few whacks at it, and it's good. The Heat up 3. Edmonton called a timeout, but it wouldn't work. They're not even done. You could hear the laughter from the crowd. Again, this one, Jackson Kaluski will score 2 goals in 14 seconds, making it 6-2. SSAC gets that back minutes later, but you know what? This one would be all Heat. Edmonton would lose. The empty netter would go in for the Heat by Zane Franklin. They win it 7-4, 2-0 series lead.
Being up 2-0 instead of 1-1 going there for 2 games. So, you know, it was a must win for us today as well, and the boys responded with a huge win, and now, you know, I like our chances.
Well, we go into the room, we're focused in, we're trying to talk about what's going right, what's not, and we just come out stronger every period, I think.
All right, well, after 2 games between the Baker Hughes Bobcats and CAC, a total of 26 goals have been scored. The Cats took Game 1 10-2, followed by CAC taking Game 2 by a score of 10-4. Now, Sunday, both teams were looking for the upper hand in this series. It might have looked like this one would have been one of those games. Again, just a minute 30 into the game, Cats create a turnover. Ryan Symington throws the backhand on net, beating Levi Nelson 1-0 home side early. Now midway through the frame, it's Matthew Dykstra's initial shot that would be stopped. Trevor Posh is Johnny on the spot and scores on the rebound 1-1 after 1. Now late in the second, Cats shorthanded. Brinson Pashnik picks off the pass, moves in, fires it high, but stays with it to bang home the shorty. 2-1 after 40. CAC would tie it up early in the third with just over 3 to play. Jason Braid's shot goes off the CAC defender's skate and in, and that's your game winner. The Baker Hughes Bobcats take Game 3 3-2, taking a 2-1 lead. They still have a chance to close things out Thursday.
You know, the first 2 periods I thought were, you know, a little bit shaky, even kind of on both sides. And then I thought the third period, both teams really competed. And, you know, we got fortunate to get one late in that period, and then we held on for the win. But a huge win for us. If we would have been going down, going into their rink, it would have been real tough. So, you know, the guys bared down and got the job done.
Well, I was just trying to get it to the net, and luckily enough, it did go in. We definitely knew we had to come out with a message for them, and we did.
Kind of unfair that Cole Fisher has an advantage with that beard, unlike his team. We'll move on to the Lloydminster Bobcats. They wrapped up their season with a 3-2 win and picking 3 out of a possible 4 points over the weekend against the Fort Mac Oil Barons. Now the Cats finished as one of the hottest teams heading into the postseason, going 7-1-2 in their final 10 games after picking up a win against Fort Mac. Head coach Gary Van Herway says that victory could go a long way as they march into the playoffs.
Confidence-wise, you know, it's a team that we could certainly match up against or meet in the playoffs. We know that. So coming out here with a win tonight and building a little bit of momentum and knowing and feeling confident that, you know, actually we could have had 2 wins this weekend last night tonight. And I thought it was a real good team effort again.
The Border City Bunch will meet the Whitecourt Wolverines in the first round. The Bobcats take the season series, winning 5 of the 6 against the Wolverines. However, the Cats aren't ready or reading in too much into that.
They've got a lot of offensive power and a lot of depth in that end of it. And I think goaltending wise, and if we can stick to our structure and our systems defensively, that we can shut them down. We have had success against them, but we certainly don't want to be leaning on that or thinking that because we had real good success during the season that they're not going to be a different team, because they will. They'll come to play.
It was, well, considered heartbreak. The Lakeland Rustlers having a great second half to the season, only to lose their final 7 games and bow out of provincials. Maybe there's some silver linings, but in this story, there's definitely some memories to be had.
The last play down 4, we got a chance to make it a 1 or 2 point game. We turn it over. That's kind of like a microcosm of our season right there.
The saying, "Old habits die hard," rang true for the Lakeland Rustlers, leading to a disappointing finish for the ladies. And as the final buzzer sounds, emotions ran high.
I know I'm gonna play basketball still until I'm old, but like for a college game, and it's hard to process knowing that that was my last game.
And for others,
I knew I was gonna cry for this.
the loss also spells the end for several Rustler players as their careers draw to a close.
It's great to have this great group of girls behind us to support us when we're moving on, and regardless of our loss, I think we have a lot of things to look back on this year and be proud of.
It's meant everything. I've learned so much this past 2 years, and I feel like a real part of something.
I think it hasn't completely hit me yet, just because we have 2 more months to spend with each other, but I'm definitely going to miss them because I've definitely got really close friendships with some of the girls, most of the girls on the team, so it's going to be different.
Just how close we became as a team, inside basketball and outside, around school, seeing each other, we've all just became so close, I just can't imagine being without them.
Carleton's basketball career may be done, but her coaching career is just beginning as she joins Chris King for next season. And that can bode well for Mariah Vantoff and Cameo McCurley to return for another year.
Transition will be a little bit different. I'm teammates with them now, and then next year will be a different role, but I'm really excited for the opportunity to be able to learn a lot from Chris.
She'll be able to relate with the girls and kind of what they're feeling on the court and those type of things. And obviously she's got a great relationship with Cameo, Mariah, Hannah, and all those girls. So I think the feedback will be very strong between her, the players, and myself. So we're looking forward to that.
It is up next with weather.